I walked on the beach. I always, I mean,
We're
Terry
live,
saw
Abdi.
I called this morning and I was just going,
Abdi, we're live. Day today.
Good morning or good afternoon, good evening. Depends on where you are in this wonderful planet of ours. And welcome to American Heritage College, our boot camps on professional knowledge brokers. My name is Abdi Lajavardi, and I'm with you with two of my dear colleagues, Dr. Mindy Sloan and Dr. Terry Ferris. And we are going to talk to you about our concepts of what is professional knowledge broker and what is professional career coaches, what we call American English as a second language professors. And our goal is to spend the next few minutes together to kind of tell you why we do what we do and what are each of these boot camps are there and what they are looking to accomplish and who they are for. So first of all, welcome. And as I mentioned to you, my name is Abdi, and I have the privilege and honor of being one of the presenters today. I am 62 years old, and I came to this country when I was 16 years old. When I came to this country, I didn't speak any English. And all I had was a high school diploma. And I wanted to, like everybody else, conquer the world and just do all these things that was in my head as like a 16-year-old would. Life has a unique way that it turns for every one of us. And throughout life, we learn many lessons. So I have learned a lot of lessons. And I have accomplished a few things, had a number of challenges, and I have met many, many other people throughout my journey that they have had great impact in my life. I couldn't have achieved what I had, had past my life experience to get me to where I am today if it wasn't because of those individuals. So going to what professional knowledge broker is all about and why we're here together. The fact of the matter is, myself and a number of my colleagues, we came to this recognition that in this day and age, especially after this last year dealing with COVID and all of these challenges that we all have faced and everybody been affected, from health, financial, and even knowing what it looks like going forward. What is it that we can expect from this, what we call the new world order or new future for us? So we have put together a program today, and for other days, as we have different programs that are based on the same concept, to kind of give people an opportunity to have more control over their life, to be able to have a life where they can bring more balance between what they think is important to them. If they want to work remotely, if they want to have more financial, access to a more revenue source because they're retired and can't just live on retirement plans that they didn't work out. Or they are retired, but they don't want to be retired. They're just getting bored of not doing as much things that they like to do. So a professional knowledge broker is a person that, due to their knowledge, experience, and expertise, have achieved great success, right? They have gained many experiences. For example, in my humble little way, I have retired 4 different times. I'm an engineer. I have been involved, different things. But what I think about for what I have done in 40, 50 years, well, I can teach people to do it in like 3 or 4 years. Huh? I can teach them what works for me. How did I, dealt with challenges and what I really could have done. It's like I talk to my younger version of myself, right? Now, what I have found out that there are many individuals, well qualified individuals, that would like to share those knowledge and those expertise with other people. So a professional knowledge broker is a person that not only counts on their own knowledge, experience, and ability, but because they're a broker, we're saying not just knowledge, professional knowledge person, but we're saying broker. So that means I am seeking to bring other individual with the knowledge that is relevant to do what? To do what everybody wants to do, to make a better world for people that we call, clients, right? Customers, people that we care about, right? People that we want to make a difference in their life. So, in a nutshell, that's what we think a professional knowledge broker is. So, if you're interested in that, then we can break out and kind of see how would we approach things. So, having said that, I think one of the things that most everybody feels, and the ones that I have had the pleasure of knowing and serving and working with all different kinds of individuals, where I have asked them, what is you think the most important thing about human beings, right? Bottom line comes in that we have choices. We recognize that we can make different choices, Other animals don't have this. We call it, all kinds of intellects, this, that. So that's our ability to be human. But look at this. Most people, not everybody, most people don't like to make a decision. Think about it. Last time you wanted to go to a restaurant, like you wanted to go with a few friends. Who step in and said, let's go have some Italian food or Indian food or Mexican food or whatever food? Most people don't want to make a decision. Something that is so essential, and we all know it's what makes us unique and a special species, yet sometimes ends up to be one of the most reluctant things that we want to take advantage of. Have you wondered why that is? You see, we as humans, and we will, dive into this because this program is a 5 weeks program that I have 7 or 8 of my colleagues that they all wonderful individual, real qualified professionals that come in, and different aspects will open up what it does take to be professional. Because when you really think about it, what's the difference between professional and amateur, right? I mean, if you have light, you have darkness, right? These are, light doesn't make sense unless there is darkness, right? Because they are opposite of one another. So professionalism in front of what makes sense is amateurism, right? So if I want to be professional, what does it mean? What do I need to do to be a professional? Is it just enough that I call myself professional? Is it enough that I have something on my title that says professional? Or what does it mean? So we will explore that, discuss it, talk about it, and understand, maybe something that we didn't pay as much attention to is what makes me to be me. Why is it that I have such a reluctance on making decision when I know this is the biggest aspects of what I have in life? If I look back, many of us have had this. When we look back and we think, there are many things that we knew today that we should have done, we could have done, but we didn't do it. What do you think has stopped us from? Was it anything other than fear? And you see, everybody, humans, these are feelings that we have. These are not us, but these are feelings. Just like being happy, being sad, being, the fearful is just a feeling. It's the kind of feeling we get. And it's a good thing if we know how to use it. But when we get confused to know what it is us versus what it is our reaction to something, then we get into trouble. You see, the other side of the faith, if you think about it as a coin, is usually faith. You see, a great mentor of mine one time told me, Abdi, if you're going to forget everything I have taught you, and he taught me a lot, remember one. And I have remembered a lot of things, but this thing in particular. So I want to give that as a gift to you today. Remind yourself, no one can fix the past. No one. You can only create the future on what you do today. You see, the reality is there is nothing new in the past. That's what the word is, past. You can't create new by recycling the past. Nothing gonna happen like that. And that's really the essence of being happy. The opportunity to be happy is the fact that we only live on the present moment. We don't live in the past, and the future is not here. Let's learn how we can bring our mind and our soul to the presence, right? And we've got a whole programs and my colleagues that are going to talk to you about how it is to create processes, to have a professional mindset, to kind of continue, just like going into the gym and building your muscles, how can you do that for your mental health, for your energy, on your whole soul, because to be professional, just like any professional, I mean, if you're a professional race car driver, or if you're a professional pianist, what's the most important thing to you? If you're a professional race car driver, it must be your car. If you're a pianist, this must be your piano. So what do you do about those? How do you take care of those things? How do you do that? If you want to be professional, my dear friends, you have to take care of your body, your mind, your soul, your energy the same way. If you want to call yourself a professional, and that's what we're going to work on. That's what we're going to do in 5 weeks with the help of my colleagues. But one thing I want to tell you about what we do here and in all our programs, knowledge is a really good thing. But knowledge without action is not worth it. So what we want to do is not only share with you knowledge, but we want to give you actionable item where you can actually experience and see, what can I do? How can this really affect my life, my day-to-day life? And if it works for you, you should continue. And if it doesn't, don't do it. But that's how we do our program. So being brief and short, as my colleagues remind me I should be, and I will do my best, but don't keep me to that promise, because I'm going to be part of this group that works with you. I want to tell you this 5 weeks program is one of the aspects that allows an individual that become a professional knowledge broker to actually help others to become better and happier in what they do, and make a living on making a happier world for themselves and others. And I hope you join us for that program. And I am delighted and excited. But before that, anything else you think I left out from the program? And I'm sure there is a lot of things, but Terry or Mindy, that you can help with sharing with our colleagues about what we have for them in our PKB bootcamp programs?
Well, I think I agree with you completely, Abdi. This is really about finding your joy and finding a way to express it as a job, but as a part of who you are as well. I know what it's like to have a job that I love here, that brings me joy. I am excited to get up in the morning because I know the work that I do is meaningful and relevant, and that I have an opportunity to help students in any number of places across the globe. And so I would say, and I'll speak for just a moment about the American English as a second language program. I see this as an opportunity for those of you who are interested in making a difference, in using your time, both to help others and to improve your own life. And what I like about this certificate program is, yes, you will learn to teach English, and I'll explain a little bit what I mean by American English. You'll learn to do that, but you'll also have the option of deciding if this is a part-time thing that you want to do to augment your current job. Maybe you'll do this on weekends. Maybe you'll do this in evenings. You can be very entrepreneurial about it and create something that works for you now and that can grow into something even larger, should that be what your goal becomes. You can also seek out regular employment with, say, a tutoring company. The tutoring business is booming right now. I know that because I worked in that industry and am very familiar with various vendors and the growth opportunities. It's happening in the kindergarten through 12th grade area. It's happening in higher ed. It's even happening for those of you who probably are already employed and know this, folks who have jobs are actually coming back to school to make themselves either more marketable for a new position or to be more eligible and attractive for that promotion. Now, I mentioned American English as a second language, and the reason that I'm emphasizing it is because that is a focus of our program. Because what we're hearing from folks who have jobs is that they feel sometimes as if they're overlooked for that promotion, or they feel sometimes that they're overlooked for that job change, something they really want. They're very smart, they have an amazing degree, but they may not have the language skills that help them feel comfortable and fit in to that business setting, that US business setting. And so what we're going to focus on in this program are ways to integrate your English skills into emails or even texting, which has become a language of its own, into performance evaluations, into PowerPoint presentations, depending on who your audience is. So you will have a comfort level that will allow you to adapt to your audience. Maybe you're more formal in some circumstances, you're less formal in other circumstances. Maybe you have more insight into all those funky little idioms that are part of the American English language. The point is you'll have a little bit more insight and be able to adapt your language to fit in the way that you want to fit in, so that you feel comfortable, you get those promotions, you have those job changes that you really want. So American English, not just English as a second language. And thank you, Abdi, for mentioning positive energy. Embedded into our program is an expectation and support for you so that you can begin to learn and integrate best practices and self-care. And you might say, why would I worry about taking care of myself? If any of you have ever flown in a plane and you hear the flight attendant say at the very beginning, put on your own mask first. There's a reason you have oxygen before you can help other people. You might also think of it as a vase. You're a vase and you want to hold flowers. But if you have a crack and the water gets out, you can't nourish those flowers. It's so important to be as healthy and intact and balanced as you can so you truly can serve others. So we have an expectation when you go through our programs, whether it's the American English as a second language or another program, that you're prepared and skilled in maintaining balance, and you can use your positive energy because you're going to feel strong, you're going to feel confident, you're going to feel competent, and you can use that positive energy to help others. So it's a balance of keeping yourself healthy, helping others, and having a vocation and a profession that can bring you income, that actually contributes to your lifestyle. I still teach, I'm a faculty member, and I tell my students and the other faculty that I work with all the time, when you help one student, you're not just helping that one student to transform his or her life. The stats are real. They show that you are significantly increasing the likelihood that that student's children and grandchildren will have educational options too, that they'll go to college. So you have a chance to impact in ways you'll never see. I would encourage each of you to spend time to reflect on what makes you happy, what brings you joy. If you could have the job of your choice, doing what you feel is your path, what would it be? And then don't be shy. Don't feel guilty. Don't be ashamed. Pursue that path. Reach out. That's why we're here. That's why we develop programs. We believe it can make a difference, not just for you, but for those across the planet. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Mindy. And let's go to our good friend, Dr. Terry Ferris. Terry, if you don't mind, share with us your perspective.
Absolutely. And I want to thank everybody for being here. This is an awesome chance for us to be able to share with you all of this great knowledge, whether it be as a professional knowledge broker, whether it be as American English as a second language trainer, or even a professional career coach. Now, I will say, prior to talking to you about the professional career coach program, I've been blessed to have taught English as a second language. And the program that the team has developed is second to none. This is a great opportunity for those of you that would love to be able to help others. And what better way than to help them learn another language? What better way to help them learn about, if you're, the American culture? What better way to work on your mindset while you're at it? Because that's a big thing about it all. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what is a professional career coach. So a professional career coach, and when I say career coach, you could be a life coach. You can be a regular coach in the sense that we all think of. But in our eyes, the professional career coach is an individual that is skilled in the resume writing, the reviewing and interviewing, the negotiation and career planning. Now, a career coach often is somebody that has that entrepreneurial mindset. Somebody that is, if you've ever heard, a type A personality, a go-getter, right? I'm actually being reserved right now with my energy, but there are times that you can ask my colleagues here where I get very hyper. As you can see, I just did it. I switched a slide and didn't even mean to. Okay? I didn't mean to. But what we want you to understand is we want you to be able to, as a professional career coach, especially if you're able to join the team at American Heritage College after your training, which I'll go into that in a second, a little bit more. But you're going to help individuals understand how to find happiness in their life. If you haven't heard the theme yet, life's about finding happiness, right? We all hit those times. We all have those moments, but let's find a way to get back to it. And I'm getting off track a little bit, but I want everybody to understand that the Professional Knowledge Broker series, which is the first component of this professional career coach program, is very important, because one of the areas I focus on a lot of times is the mindset. Before you can be a professional career coach, you need to know who you are. You need to be able to reflect back, get control when things aren't going your way. Okay, I'm going to use an example right now. While Mr. Abdi was speaking, I had a dog come upstairs. I had a cat come upstairs. So I quickly tried to put myself on mute because, of course, cat wants to sit down right beside the computer, right? So everybody's going to hear it. But you know what? Back in the day, I would have been just so upset. But now I'm like, life happens. Let's get by it. Let's just move on. We got a great thing going here today that we're serving you. Okay, let me get back up a minute. Let's talk about the professional career coach a little bit. We want to help those out there develop their skills, but also to become a better version of themselves. And that's what we want you to do if you want to be a professional career coach for American Heritage College. That's why this program is good for you. Now, we're not saying you have to work for American Heritage College. As an entrepreneur, you can work for yourself. As Mindy kind of talked about, as an American English as a second language instructor. Our professional career coach program is designed to help you to be able to maybe get over the fear, the lack of decision making that was shared a minute ago with you, to branch out and become your own business owner. If you're a helpful person, if you're a servant leader, this is an opportunity for you to be able to help others. And what better way to do that, especially if you're a professional, right? And you feel like, oh, I'd be a good career coach. I can help people with their resume. I can help them find a job. I can help them find out what's the best career for them. Well, great. It's time to be a career coach, right? Okay. You want to help people deal with their challenges. Okay. Maybe some of you out there are in this rut where you not only are trying to find your mindset, but you need to make that career change. Or maybe because of the pandemic, heaven forbid, you've gone through the challenges of being unemployed. Well, as a professional career coach, you now have experienced some of those things, and you can use that life lessons that you've learned, the experiences. And if you're somebody that's a little more, I always use the word seasoned, as we start to get a little older. Sounds much nicer, doesn't it, than to say we're old. But anyway, if you're a little more seasoned and you have that experience and knowledge, what better way can you help somebody with finding a career than as a career coach, right? Okay, you're going to learn not only about marketing yourself, okay, because as a career coach, you have to market yourself. As an entrepreneur, you have to market yourself. You have to find your brand. So we're here to help you find your brand. You'll learn how to use your strengths to leverage yourself for your success. I often tell people that, you know how when you've gone through interviews, you hear, well, what is your weakness? Let's focus on your strengths. Let's help you build that strength. That's one of the things we're going to help you with. That's one of the things we want to focus on. And understanding that successes should be celebrated. The littlest things. You know, I used to have a campus president I worked for. And I remember through all of our orientation sessions, she would share with everybody this little story. But you want to know something? This story was right. She said, as you're studying, even this short program that we have for you, if you've learned something new, if you feel like you've done something great, reward yourself by going to get an ice cream cone. Something as simple as that. Celebrate the successes. Now, you can have a moment as you're when you get a chance to look at all the sessions we're going to cover. I could go over this with you, but actually what I wanted to do here is, it's not the best picture, but something came to my mind today. I was out standing on my porch and I took this picture of this flower bed that's on my porch. There's two flowers here, one that's bloomed and one that's not. They're both in the same pot. They've both had the water, but yet one of them hasn't bloomed yet. Well, guess what? This is your chance to be that bloomed flower, to give that knowledge, that water to somebody else to help them bloom. This is your opportunity. So give us that chance to work with you, to not only help make you a professional knowledge broker, but then also to become a professional career coach. Now, one of the things I kind of wanted to talk about with you a little today is all of this information we've given you. You have an opportunity to learn this. These live sessions we're doing for you right now, these are complimentary. You get this for free. I don't like that term though. It's complimentary, right? Because we want you to get value. We want you to be able to work with us. Now, to get the actionable items, that's of course where you would want to enroll and register in the program with us. To get those things, you get to develop a capstone portfolio. And again, this is for all three. Can you imagine if you do professional knowledge broker by itself, you get to do a capstone portfolio for yourself. If you want to become an AESL instructor, you get to do a capstone portfolio. If you become a professional career coach, again, capstone portfolio. Well, what is that? You might be like, I've never heard this term. What does that mean for me? It means we're going to give you some items that you can take away from this event that you can use in your everyday life, that you can use to help your people you're training, the people you're tutoring, the people you are helping find employment, right? But use it. Don't put it on a bookshelf behind you where it just sits there. Use it. You obviously will give you a certificate with the program. We actually will give you a chance to have a 1-year subscription to market yourself through one of our colleagues, and partners' websites. This is your chance to be able to market yourself, that we're going to show you how to do that. You'll get your own coaching session with us. And the good news is, those of you becoming a professional career coach will get an opportunity to learn how to help others. Right? All right. And as I already talked about, we'll give you a chance to possibly teach for us as an American English as a second language instructor, or as a professional career coach working with us. And with our tuition package and our program that you go through, if for some reason you're not satisfied, okay, we'll work with you. We'll refund your money, right? But the ultimate goal is taking the steps to your next journey. That's what we want you to do. We want to help you. There's a road ahead of you. Follow that path. Don't be scared, or if you are scared, that's okay. Take the leap. My colleagues here that are on this call with me, or this video for everybody, we often share about our experience about skydiving. Well, I did it for the first time, 2020, last year. I'm scared to death of heights. But guess what? I decided, I only live once. So I finally decided to do it, and it was probably one of the best experiences ever. Now, I'm not condoning that you got to go skydiving. Not what I'm saying. But I want you to think about the fear that often comes with it. And sometimes you just have to take that plunge, right? Now, if you would like to learn more about what Abdi shared with you today, what Mindy shared with you today, what I shared with you today, you want to register for these boot camps, you can email us at info@American Heritage College. You can check out our Facebook page. You can check out LinkedIn. You can check us out on YouTube, because guess what? We offer a lot of great complimentary material all the time for people, because knowledge doesn't do us any good if I keep it to myself and you keep it to yourself. Now, before we end, I would like to turn it back over to my colleague, Mr. Abdi Lejavardi, and he will give us some lasting ending words. So, Mr. Lejavardi, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you very much, Terry, and thank you very much, Mindy. But I want to really thank you folks that you're watching us. I want you to know one thing. I learned this many years ago from a wise individual, and I kind of keep on repeating that to myself and share it with my colleagues every opportunity I get. So they're gonna know what I'm gonna say. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. So there is a reason that you are here, and there is a reason that you're watching this. And I hope you take the faith and give us a chance to serve you. Have a wonderful day, and thank you very much for watching us. And